Toys that transform are nothing new. In fact, this brand from Japan figured it out in 1975 with this Raiden toy. But there is a reason that we don't get a lot of Lego or brick-based toys that transform, because well, Lego builds have a tendency to self-disassemble when being handled. Double that tendency if you have an alternative brand on hand, which makes this transforming set from MouldKing a brave attempt. How well does it work? Does it hold together? Let's find out in this BrickScore review. This is MouldKing set number 10061 and it comes with almost 1,000 pieces. They are packed in numbered bags and even the instruction booklet came in a plastic bag which feels a bit wasteful. It took me about 3 hours as a disabled builder to complete this set. It wasn't a particularly complex build, but it was enjoyable seeing all the ratchet and ball joints and wondering how they will eventually fold out during transformation. The instructions have you building out the car mode first. Starting from the rear, you work your way towards the front. When you have finished, you will follow the instructions to transform it into its robot form, which is admittedly nerve-wracking. Make sure you follow the directions closely and never force it as you might pop a piece out. Once in this mech form, you will then build this sword. To go back to the Lambo form, you just need to do these steps backwards. Thankfully, MK printed out the instructions for this instead of just telling you to do it backwards. The car form of this set is supposedly the Lamborghini V12 Vision GT, which is this amazing concept car designed for the Gran Turismo video game. The original is in this sublime green and black scheme. The MouldKing version goes in a different direction, opting for a blue and black combination. Looking at this, it's pretty obvious that they started the design here because it looks so good as the V12. Not to take anything away from the mech, but we will talk about that in a second. It's a decent sized set, certainly not minifig scale like a Speed Champion, but it's a displayable proportion. The wheels turn great, which is something very basic, I know, but then with alt bricks you can't take any of that for granted. See my other alt car videos to know why. Let's forget for a second that it can transform. This set looks absolutely fine. It doesn't look like a lot of compromises were made in this form, so thumbs up. But you know what gets a thumbs down from me? These stickers. Cheesy handwriting font that says Lambo V12 and Transformer like it's some sort of power brick. Thanks, I hate it. The roof panels can be lifted up and you can see the quote-unquote engine here. It's actually the head and hands of the mech, a clever way of hiding it I must say. On the rear you can see the attempt at the iconic Y-shaped rear lights of the Lambo. It even has the white outlines here and some representation of the exhaust tips in gold. Here it is next to the fake Lambo V12 Technique set and this original LEGO Speed Champions version. It's not as big as this Technique set and it's not as accurate as this original set. But you know what this has that the others don't? A transformation sequence. Let's go! Before we get to the mech form, I just wanted to show you this prototype 3D printed Lego parts tray. I'm trying to design my own as I wasn't satisfied with what I've tried so far. This makeup organizer tray was really loud and the whole thing was quite bulky. I tried these white plastic trays but they were too deep and I couldn't see the parts inside as the parts pile on top of each other. These organizers were almost perfect and in fact I used them most of the time but I think it can be improved. I wanted a slope on the edges and a lower bezel so I can easily get parts even with my disability. If you are interested in this, please comment down below. I will be releasing the 3D printable files for free in the near future so be sure you are subscribed. The overall look of this robot is very blocky and toy-like compared to what we are used to with our Slaban mechs, which lean towards a more sleek aesthetic. Here it is next to last week's mech. You can see that it is quite a bit larger, not just taller but wider as well. There are a lot of exposed studs which is understandable as styling most of these might interfere with the transformation. It almost feels like a Gen 1 Transformer but not quite. The head is on a ball joint and it's cleverly built with some angled pieces. The trans-thread studs works great as the eyepiece. The arms have a surprising amount of articulation. Clever use of these rounded plates as an elbow allows wide but stable bending. The three-fingered hands are also on ball joints but they won't be able to hold much. The front wheels are here on the shoulder like a large and sturdy piece of armor. You can see that the side mirrors end up here. Be careful with these black parts that oddly stick out. The front chest plate is on a hinge and it mostly stays in place. The waist section doesn't feature any mech skirting, leaving the ratcheting ball joints exposed. His hips are super wide to accommodate the car transformation. The legs are thick with GCs because of the wheels and most of the rear of the car. The legs are actually quite cluttered and the feet don't touch the ground completely. With that said, the various contact points hold the mech up just fine even if it looks odd. On the back, you will find the roof of the car. With nowhere else to go, it just dangles here. Removing this from the clip and attaching it this way looks a lot better, but it's not in the spirit of a transforming mech. Here is the back of the legs and you see why they don't post pictures of the set from behind. The sword design is a bit odd with shiny silver half-circle tiles lined up in a row. It only looks good from one side unfortunately, the other side is not tiled up, it's just anti-studs. It attaches to either hand using this jumper plate. So both the sword and the mech can't be shown from behind. Got it. Accessibility. This robot has been a joy to build. For a set that has to consider the mechanisms for transformation, it was easy to build with clear instructions and stable build techniques. This has not been my experience with other MouldKing sets, so I am glad to have tried this one. Accessibility score of 4 out of 5 stars. Quality. I have to commend the creativity of the MouldKing designers who made this set. I build mocks from time to time, but I'm no Lego engineer, so seeing something like this come together is a curiosity-satisfying experience. With that said, I don't know how to feel about the overall robot look. It feels a lot more like a toy robot than an action figure mech, if that makes sense. Okay, so compare this transforming bot to this slubban mech. It's not just that it looks different, it's a whole different subgenre of toy aesthetics. As much as I am in awe of the build experience and the transformation features, I don't think I will be displaying this in robot form. However, as a car, I feel a different kind of disappointment. The toy blue color scheme in my opinion does not do the design of the V12 Vision GT justice. The novelty of having a transforming mech fades after a while and you are left wondering where it fits in your collection. Quality score of 4 out of 5 stars. Value. I got this set for a ridiculous price of only $23.56 on Temu. The price is different now, it's a little higher from when I originally bought mine. The price is on screen. I can't say if it's still worth it at that new price, but for the price I paid for it, it's amazing value. If you can find this exact set for near the original price I paid for it, then I say go for it. If you know of other transforming alt Lego sets, something that actually transforms without disassembly, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to check them out. And if you like this video, be sure to check out these other Lego alternative mech reviews.